Who gave him the camera?
I don't know.
No, get it away.
This thing's slow.
Stop. Get out of here.
It is slow.
Very slow.
But
Where's
it's still
the
faster
other
than
one?
Two Lamborghinis.
Nah, these Lamborghinis definitely faster than that thing.
Okay, you can do it with your
Welcome back to
finger.
the channel, guys. Today we are here at Tyler Bowden's house. New location unlocked. We are working on his 2006 Nissan Sentra SCR Spec V.
Yeah.
SCR Spec V. And he was driving home the other day. It decided to shut off on him and hasn't started since. Right now, I've done a little bit of playing with it off camera just to get familiarized. The mass airflow seems to be reading a little bit high. It's reading about 8 grams per second at idle. Well, the idle that it gives me, which is only about, 500 RPM. It's a very low idle. It's reading very lean, typically on a 4-cylinder about this size. It should be in about the 4s, maybe even the low 3s. That 4 grams per second difference could definitely be an issue, and is something that I'm going to look into. He had an extra mass airflow sensor already on hand, so we threw that in just to see. And this mass airflow sensor is reading the exact same as the other mass airflow sensor. Going to start pinning and back probing some wires and trying to get a grasp on what's going on.
Yeah.
Dave Smith, do you have any comments?
Nope.
You guys are going to come along for the ride, trying to help the homie, and we'll see what happens.
Let's do it.
Little update for you guys. Last time we talked, I told you I was back probing the mass airflow sensor. What the mass airflow sensor was showing was that the voltages are a little bit high, the grams per second is a little bit high, but what the ECU is reading is accurate to the sensor. While that is abnormal, I am concerned that there's a little bit further of an issue going on. Typically an older trick on some of these older Nissans or older cars, 90s cars, you just unplug the mass airflow sensor and it'll go to a base kind of timing, fueling, like a base map in a way, that will still allow it to run only at idle, but run good. And even when I do that and I unplug the mass airflow sensor, it still starts up for a couple seconds, sputters, and then stalls. I am seeing 15 degrees of timing on idle and startup, which I think to be a little bit too much or excessive. Typically a car wants to start kind of, perfectly TDC, no advance, no retard, nothing like that. So I want to look into that a little bit further. I am going to start with the VTC solenoid and see if that is maybe sticking open a little bit, causing a little bit too much degree, or if the solenoid is fine and possibly he might have jumped timing. That is where my diagnosis is heading. That is the next things I am going to check on. I will take you along for the ride and give you an update in a little bit here.
God, I hope it's not timing. I'm here just to bring smiles and a good time.
The vibes. This is vibes right here.
I'm trying.
This is the vibe, man. Anyway.
Shut up, Jackson.
Everyone, every time that he shows up, he must get a proper introduction or else it does not feel complete, and I will hear about it off camera. Everyone, let's welcome Jackson Ribeiro back to the channel again. He wants to make sure that everyone knows who he is and sees this beautiful face every video. He's here while we record, so I just want to make sure I make a special segment specifically for the Jackson Ribeiro.
I really wish you'd say my last name right.
Ribeiro.
But,
All right, guys, I brought everyone in. Everyone say hello.
Hello.
We have figured out the issue.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Tyler's car here did jump timing. The 15 degrees advance that we saw would be correct. And it is out of time, not running properly, and unfortunately something that we're going to have to go into further. The timing marks on the head are exactly where they need to be per Nissan's book. And I don't know if you'll be able to see. I'm going to try to get you a shot down here. You can see right there, faintly, the 2 lines are right where the striker needs to be. The striker's right there at the tip of my finger. It's in between those 2 lines. Back where that faint red mark is, what would be the top of your screen, kind of where it looks like I put a red Sharpie and there's another mark in the crank. That's where it's supposed to be. So it's spun on the crank and it is that far advanced.
Car.
Car no go.
Yeah, what a crappy way of finding out.
Yep, we did fix one problem. We got the check engine light off for the crank sensor issue.
That is true.
Any comments?
That is true.
No comments.
That is.
So like, I checked the engine,
That face says it all.
and the engine's there, but the engine's not happy.
Yeah. Look at his face. Look at his face.
I just want to make sure he's getting proper camera time here.
He's got to have
This
it.
is a motor.
Motor. This is a QR25, if you were questioning. In the spec R,
SER spec V.
the SER spec V. Sorry for all you Nissan fanboys out there. I apologize for calling it wrong.
Yo, at least we got the project car to fix the parts car. So for a lot of you guys that don't know, this was the actual car, but it got into a little bit of an accident in the front here. So now we're trying to fix the parts car, but this car ran for like a year and then I don't know, it just, you know, jumped timing. So
Shit, Grandpa.
it is what it is, but we know what to do to fix it. Jesus. I mean, yeah, if you got a carbon fiber splitter, sure.
What's up?
How we doing?
Good. It's come to that point where we start packing up our tools and we accept fate.
Yeah.
Send her down the river, brother.
No, we
She's going.
fix. We rebuild.
Send
We'll
her
come
down
back.
the river, brother.
The car in the background though.
Oh, I know, right? Gorgeous.
I thought we were talking about the car that drove by that had no exhaust.
No, no.
Did Dave roast me on my splitter yet?
I did. Does not give a single.
The car was meant to be driven. We drive them.
You see the curved wheels.
Oh.
You do see the curb wheels because it gets driven.
And he has like.
Once again, let me just ask another question. Where's your car?
I sold it.
Will you please buy another car? Please?
Maybe.
Alright, we'll see. Alright, well, we've come to the conclusion that the car did skip timing. We did a lot today though. We fixed the crank issue.
Yes.
Which was huge. We fixed, or we made sure that it wasn't any computer-related components that are failing. And
I checked data and just kind of followed the diagnostic trees and, you know, to what I thought was the best path to get to where we're at.
it's a shame that, you know, Tyler has to go through this and just has to be out from his car for a little bit, but it is what it is.
He's got good friends. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, so, you know, the crank issue, I don't know if I really touched on that much. I'll touch on it just a little bit. Originally, when I first started looking at the car, I looked at it the other night and it was off camera. So I already had kind of a knowledge going into this of what was going on. It would set a crank sensor code every single time you key on. Crank sensor codes there. This car was a parts car, had no harness, had nothing. I mean, it had a motor and that was it. Like brake lines, everything had to be put in this thing. And the harness had to be bought from a donor car. The time that the harness was installed, plugs got mixed up is unfortunately what it was. The crank sensor plug was in the wrong location. That car honestly is a miracle because it was running on a cam sensor for almost a year,
Over a year.
which is impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive. When you're diagnosing, you got to just start with what you have, and I had a code, so I had to fix that code.
Pause.
In diagnosing, you got to work with what you got. I had a code. I had to fix that code first to confirm that that wasn't the issue. And also on the data, before it was showing the 15, 14 degrees that it was showing constantly now, it was showing 127 degrees.
Yeah.
That's because the wiring obviously was wrong. It actually shares the same connector as the power steering pressure sensor, and they were swapped when the harness was installed. A miracle, again, that it was running for so long
it's actually
and half
amazing.
decent.
Yeah.
But now it's to the point where the timing did unfortunately jump, and
wow, this thing was on the sticky run.
yeah,
Like that.
that lasted Brian's car.
Wow. It did. Oh my gosh. Well,
We're just wrapping up now. There's nothing much else for us to film.
yeah, so thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.